Hi, welcome to BFS Wargaming. So we're here in the new studio. It's operational, not completed, but it's operational. Dan actually came down today. We've done all the lighting, electrics and everything else. So yeah, it's the first bat rep in the new studio. So we're gonna do ITC battle report. So I'm bringing Imperial Knights and Dan is bringing his Drukhari. So it's gonna be a pretty competitive battle report. I feel like my knights are fairly good. Obviously, when you're taking a full knights list, you're at a bit of, there's disadvantages to it, obviously, because you haven't got the troops, you haven't got the amount of models. But, you know, hopefully with the amount of firepower.
Very big guns.
Yeah, hopefully with the guns and everything else, then I should be able to deal some damage and maybe take some objectives. And yeah, hopefully it should be all right. So, yeah, well, what we'll do is we're doing, we'll roll off on the scenario and we'll talk about it during deployment. We'll go into the armies and talk you through our armies. So we'll see you in a second. So we have 2,000 points of House Hawkshroud Imperial Knights. 2 super heavy detachments. So I've got the Castellan Knight. Comes, I've got him with the 2 siege breaker cannons and the 2 shield breaker missiles, with 2 Helverins, and then I have a Knight Errant and a Paladin with a Armiger Warglaive. The Castellan Knight is the Warlord, and he has Iron Bulwark, and he has the relic, the Sainted Iron, which gives him the 2-up save. I've paid 1 command point to get Cannon Commander, so I've got a command point back on the Paladin, so he gets a free reroll. And the Knight Errant has the relic where you can take an objective and he gets objective secured basically, and if there is other units with objective secured, he counts as 10 troops. So we'll go into the Drukhari list.
Right, so here we have the Drukhari list. At the back there's an Air Wing, 2 Razor Wings and a Void Raven bomber. They are Cabal of the Black Heart. We have a Cabal of the Black Heart battalion that's containing 2 Ravagers, 7 Scourges, 4 with Haywire, 3 with Shard Carbine. Then we have, for dedicated transports, 2 Venoms with twin Splinter rifles and Splinter cannon. And we have a Radar with Disintegrator. The Ravagers are 3 Disintegrators. We have 3 units of Cabalites. One's a squad of 10 with a Dark Lance and a Blaster. One's 5 with a Blaster, and the other 5 has one has a Shredder. The Archons, one has a Blaster and a Husk Blade. The other has a Splinter pistol and a Husk Blade. The one there is the Warlord. He will have Rip of the Living Muse as his relic, which gives reroll 1s to wound. And I'm paying the command points to have extra relics, and the Archon there will have the Vision Blade, and that is the Cabal battalion. And then we have an Homunculus Spearhead. The Homunculus there, he is rocking the Mask of the Vexator. This is a Prophets of Flesh Spearhead. We also have 5 racks with an Ossifactor, and I think that's it. He might have a Hex Rifle as well actually, but whether that will be valid against the Knights, I don't think so. We have 2 squads of Grotesques as standard, and then we have 3 Talos, separate units, all with Haywire, Macroscalpels and Chain Flails. And that is 2,000 points of Drukhari. Slightly more models on the table than the Knights list.
So the stage is set. We have the Imperial Knights deployed over here. We had the Vanguard strike deployment. We're doing scenario 4 of the ITC. So there's a objective mark in the middle, then you place 2, 1 in wherever you want, and then 1 in your opponent's deployment zone. And the Drukhari are deployed, the flyers at the back, then all the raiders and ravagers, and then the homunculus coven at the front. And then we've got the errant, the paladin, the castellan, the warglaive, and the 2 helverins. So the stage is set, and we will be rolling off next. So we're going to roll off to see who goes first. Imperial Knights, which is me, gets +1. Got a 3.
And a 6.
And Dan got a 6, so Drukhari go first. Almost forgot, I can actually see, so
No.
I rolled a 2. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen. Secondaries, Drukhari, Dan has taken Big Game Hunter, Titan Slayer, and Old School. And the Imperial Knights taken Butcher's Bill, Old School, and Big Game Hunter. So we'll let you know how they get on at the end of the round.
So, the homunculus coven has just shuffled a little bit to get haywire in range. Rabbit just pops up here. A little bit of a shuffle around with the Archon. The 2 Razor Wing Jetfighters have flown across there to try and block the Knight Errant from advancing on my position. And the Venom with the Cabalite Warriors has gone there to take that objective. The Venom with the Homunculus Coven racks in it has gone over to here. I think that's it for them. Oh, and the Void Raven has flown right the way over there, and he's going to drop the bomb on the Paladin. So that's it for the turn 1 Drukhari movement phase. Right, turn 1 Drukhari shooting phase, and the Void Bomb. Void Bomb went over the Paladin and did 2 mortal wounds. Then pretty much everything else has fired into the Paladin, and he's down to 7 wounds. A couple of things really whiffed and a couple of things did alright. So we shall move on to Knights turn 1.
Okay, movement. So we've moved the armour up 14 inches. Castellan's just shuffled up here. The Paladin has jumped over the walkway to get onto this objective here. The Errant stays still, and both the Helverins have stayed still. So we're going to go into the shooting phase. Okay, Imperial Knights ended shooting. So the Errant shot his heavy stubbers into the Talos, took 1 wound off, and then he put everything into the Razor Wing. Everything else into the Razor Wing, should I say, and destroyed it. It actually blew up, rolled a 6, and he done 2 mortal wounds, or he done 3 mortal wounds, but saved 1 on with the 6 up to no pain. Yeah. And he done 3 mortal wounds to the Errant. So then we moved on to the Paladin, who I think ended up doing 1 wound to the Talos at the back. We then shot this the Armiger at the Ravager up the top. Downplayed lightning fast reactions, and did we take any wounds off? 1 wound off. We got 1 wound off with the thermal spear, the little thermal spear, and then we shot this Helverin, played the stratagem to get reroll failed hits, shot the other Razor Wing up there that had already taken a couple of wounds and destroyed that. It didn't blow up. Then we shot this Helverin into the Void Raven, and we took 6 wounds off. Oh, we fired.
The melters.
Did we talk about the Paladin? I fired the Paladin into the Talos at the front. I think I took like 1 wound off. Yeah. And then the Castellan fired the melters into the Void Raven, took another 3 wounds off. He fired the Siegebreaker cannons into the front Talos, took another couple of wounds off. He fired the Plasma Decimator into the back Talos, and I didn't overcharge. He only took 1 further wound off. We fired the Shieldbreaker missile at the other Talos, but missed. And then we fired the Volcano Lance at the Ravager that was at the back and destroyed it. We got 17 wounds through, and Dan couldn't roll 7 6s. He only got the 2. So that ends. I don't think I'm going to charge. I am actually in range to charge here, but I think I'm just going to let that go. or do I charge? We're going to come back and have a little think. Okay, so I decided to go for the charge with the Paladin. I actually didn't get in, didn't lose any to Overwatch. I did command point, but still didn't reach the charge. So yeah, it ends. The Imperial Knights have killed more, they've held more, and then I get one for killing one and holding one. Dan got one for holding one. Secondaries, Dan got one for Titanic. He took 8 wounds off the Paladin. He nearly got another 8 wounds off, so he nearly got 2 points for that. And I got 3 points for Big Game Hunter for the 2 Razor Wings and the Ravager. And I got Butcher's Bill as well, because I got 2 units. So we're going to go into Drukhari.
Right, Drukhari turn 2 movement phase. After the devastation of the Knights' first turn shooting, the Void Ravens come over here. He'll be firing on his lowest tier. The Venom has stayed put. The Homunculus Coven has drifted over towards the Paladin. The Archon shuffled a bit. We had a little bit of shuffling around here to get to this point and stay in range of stuff. And the Archon, the Raiders moved up that way. And the Scourges dropped down at the back here. So they're in range of the Paladin and the Errant. And the Venom with the racks inside has moved up to there. And that's Drukhari turn 2. We did Fleshcraft on the Talos for 1 wound back, and I got the command point. The command point back with the
Super.
No, the Cabal of the Black Heart Warlord trait.
Yeah.
So moving on to shooting phase. Turn 2 shooting for Drukhari. Another horrifically bad rolling. We didn't do hardly anything. We took 4 wounds off the Paladin.
8 wounds?
Off the
It
air.
was 21, so yeah.
8 wounds off of the air with a multitude of firing. Didn't quite. The Void Rate was hit on 5s, missed everything. It wasn't great. There's a lot of 1s rolled. So we are now going to charge.
The Haywire didn't really perform, did it?
No, nothing really performed.
No.
I've never rolled so many 1s in my life. Out of 9 dice, I rolled 5 1s.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we will move on to the charge phase. I will be charging some stuff into the Paladin because so far I've not actually killed anything. So I will come back with that.
Okay, so Drukhari, they charged in. The Paladin got chosen to fight last by the Homunculus and I couldn't overwatch. He then destroyed the Paladin and I used the 2 command points to blow it up on a 4. Dan vectored it and rolled a 5, so I couldn't use it, but I then rolled a 6 and it actually blew up. So everything within 3 inches, I rolled 2d6, got 3 inches, everything in 3 inches took d6 more wounds. The Grotesque took 6, he didn't ignore any. I think the other unit of Grotesques only took 1 in the end after he ignored 1. This Talos took 4. The other 2 Taloses took 6 each, and the Homunculus took 3, I think, or 2. So yeah, it was a pretty devastating blow for the Drukhari, right in the middle of the Homunculus Coven after they'd already lost the 2 quite a bit in the first turn. So we're going to go into, so they would have got hold 1 and kill 1. So we're going to go into Knights turn 2. Okay, so Imperial Knights turn 2 movement. The Errant stayed here. This Helvin stayed here. This Helvin stayed here. The Armour just moved up towards that Venom. The Castellans just moved up towards the middle. Face off with this rest of this Homunculus Coven. And that is it, because obviously the Paladin is dead. So we're going to go into the shooting. Okay, end of Imperial Knights turn 2 shooting. So the Errant shot into this Venom. He done the heavy stabbers into Scourges, didn't do anything. He shot into the Venom and took off 4. Yeah, 4 wounds. The Armour Driver here shot into that Venom, didn't do anything, whiffed badly. This Helverin shot into the Void Raven and killed it. It didn't blow up. This Helverin shot into the Ravager that was at the back and took it down 5 wounds. And then the Castellan finished it off with the Plasma Decimator. The Volcano Lance went into the Raider and took out that, and Dan rolled 1-1 to kill one of his troops. We shot the Shield Breaker into the Talos, didn't do anything. I didn't wound. And shot the Melters into the Grotesques, they saved. The Siege Breakers went into the Scourge and we just took 1 out. And I think that was it. Yeah, that was it from the shooting. I say that was it. We took out a Void Raven, a Ravager and a Raider. So we're going to go into the charge phase for the Knights. Okay, so the Armiger went into the Venom. Didn't take any wounds off him in the end?
No.
No wounds off the Venom in the end. And we charged into the Talos. The Vexator Mask made us fight last. The Talos took 2 wounds off us and we took 2 wounds off the Talos.
Took 2 off there.
Oh, I took 2 off the Venom, sorry.
Yeah,
2 off the Venom with the Warblade. And 2 off the Talos, and he took 2 back to the Castellan. The Venom didn't do anything back to the Warblade. So after that, I got hold 1, kill 1, I got kill more, and hold more. No, you hold that. So that's, don't get any, hold the same.
No, you do. Because I haven't got that one.
Oh yeah, sorry, I haven't got hold more. I thought the Ravager was back there, but I forgot he'd died. So I got hold more and kill more. So we'll sort out secondaries as well. But yeah, we're gonna go into Drukhari turn 3. See if they can claw some of this back.
Hopefully the dice will fall in our favour with this last ditch effort. We have left the Scourges there, probably going to shoot the Knight Errant. The Rax jumped out and the Venom moved up to there. The Cavalites that were web-wayed have come in there. The Talos has dropped out of combat because I feel his Haywire might be more efficient at taking wounds. And the Homunculus and the Grotesques have all moved around. Hopefully going to charge and do something. The troops dropped out of the vehicle, and then the vehicle dropped out of combat and went over to there. The troops ran around the corner to take the objective. This Archon moved up, and this Archon advanced from the back there through to here to hopefully give a reroll 1 to wound. I did an advance hoping to get closer to all of them, but I only got 3. And these troops have strung themselves out to take this objective here. So we'll move on to Drukhari turn 3 shooting. End of turn 3 Drukhari shooting. Still look great. We took 7 off of the Errant and 1 off of getting a victory point for Titanic. We did that. We also shot the Talos onto it and some splinter weaponry in various different directions. The Venom, Scourges, yeah. And in fact, I didn't fire the Scourges Shard Carbines.
You didn't. You can find them in a second.
I'll come back to that. The Canobites fired everything over to there. Did
1 wound. The Blaster rolled 1 on damage.
Yeah, Blaster rolled 1 on damage. We took 1 off that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 off the with splinter weapon.
Shredder.
Oh, the Shredder. Yeah, it's the Shredder. Everything else missed pretty much. Oh, the Dark Lance over there shot into the Errant.
I think it did take a few wounds off. Yeah. Dark Lance.
Yeah, that was the combination of that and the Haywire from the Scourges that did the 7 wounds. So we'll be moving on to charge phase for Drukhari turn 3. Close combat didn't go too badly. We managed to take 8 wounds.
Yep.
Off of the Castellan. With the Grotesques, the Homunculus didn't do anything. And the Archon over there, he took 6.
Yeah.
6 wounds, I think it was.
Yeah, it was 6, yeah.
Took 3 back in the fight back, and the Castellan, he took a wound off the homunculus.
2 wounds off the homunculus.
2 wounds off the homunculus, and 1 wound off the grotesque. So
yeah,
killed one grotesque because he was on 1 wound. So that's the end of the Drukhari phase. Not too bad. We'll round up the points and move on to turn 3 knights.
Okay, so movement phase, literally knights. All we've moved is the Castellan out of combat here. The Armiger over the back has stayed in combat. The Errant stayed where he is. The 2 Helverins have stayed where they are. So we are going to try and see if we can clear away some of these troops. Not really what knights do is troop clearance, but we'll have a go. Okay, so Imperial Knight shooting phase, turn 3. The Errant shot into the Scourges and killed 1 with the heavy stubber, and with his spear, thermal cannon he took out the Venom. This Helverin shot into all the Scourges and killed them, and put the heavy stubbers into here and didn't do anything. The heavy stubbers went from this Helverin into here, didn't do anything. He then shot into the Venom over here and the Talos, didn't do anything to the Talos, took 3 off the Venom. The Armiger's in combat, so hasn't done any shooting. Then the Castellan shot the Melters into the Grotesques and killed them both. He shot the Volcano cannon into the other Grotesques and killed 1. He shot the Siegebreaker cannons into the Drukhari Cavalites and they're dead. And he shot the Plasma Decimator into the Talos and killed that. So we're going to go into the charge and fight phase. So fight phase, charged into the Grotesque here, took him down 3 wounds, and he done 1 wound back. Over here the Armiger killed the Archon because he didn't have a Shadow Field. Is it Shadow Field?
Yeah.
He'd failed a Shadow Field save in the turn before. So that means that the Knights hold more and killed more. So that is the end of turn 3. Going into no. So Dan's going to concede at this point, which I think is probably a good idea. He's got 1 Grotesque and Homunculus left, 5 racks over here. He's got a Cavalite squad back here, Archon there, and a Venom on 1 wound. So he's so far behind in points. But what we'll do is we'll tally up the points and then we'll go into the post-game chat and we'll talk about it. Okay, post-game chat. So, well, I think the big thing about that game was the fact that Dan rolled terribly.
Yeah.
It was just one of those games, you know, we've all been there. We've all had the dice gods against us and, you know, we've all rolled badly. I mean, this was probably one of the worst. So
And had dice rolls go severely against you.
Yeah. It wasn't even just your dice. So turn 1, you didn't quite do enough to the Paladin, took him down to 7 wounds with all the firepower. Wasn't in charge range.
A lot of whiffing. It was, the Haywire didn't really perform. I had 1 Ravager, didn't get anything.
Completely whiffed, and then my turn 1 with the Knights was good. Took out 2 Razor Wings and a Ravager, which was massive.
And severely wounded the
Void Raven.
Yeah, took him down to his lowest tier.
Yeah, took him down to 3. So, I mean, it was an immense first turn. And then turn 2, obviously Dan then took quite a few wounds down on the Errant, took the Paladin down to 3 from 7, charged it, destroyed it, and then I used the stratagem to blow it up on a 4. Dan then vected that.
Which went off.
Yeah, which went off.
And then he rolled a 6.
And then I rolled a 6 to blow it up. And then
I took 22 mortal wounds to the Homunculus Coven.
Yeah. So I rolled, 6s and 6s on Taloses. There was a 5 on the Talos, there was a 5 on the Grotesques, another 4 on the Grotesques, and then 3 on the Homunculus. It was, the rolling was just amazing for me with damage. The Paladin actually had only taken 1 wound off 1 Talos before he blew up. That was the best thing he'd done. And then because he'd lost so much after that, it was then very, very hard to come back. I mean, I was ahead on points. It finished 20 points to 8. So I was scoring maximum on primaries every turn. I was scoring a lot of secondaries. Like Butcher's Bill, I was getting every turn. I maxed out on Big Game Hunter. I got first strike and last strike. I was actually putting me up to 21. I didn't get Line Breaker, but I could have got Line Breaker if I just moved the Armiger up. I didn't get Slay the Warlord. But yeah, I mean, your Grotesque's done quite a bit of damage to the Castellan. Took 8 wounds off in one round of
five of them. Yeah, did alright against Castellan, but...
And like you said, if the Paladin hadn't blown it up...
If I'd have killed it in the first turn, if I'd have had one thing go right in the first turn, I think...
it could have been a very...
If the Ravager had not whiffed, I think the 7 wounds, and the Haywires had maybe done a couple of more wounds.
Yeah.
Paladin's out the way. I haven't lost 22 mortal wounds.
Yeah.
And even though I'd lost a lot of
obviously
firepower...
on that Homunculus coven, the mortal wounds are what you want, you know, because of the 4-up invons. And, you know, it just, everything went my way. The dice, Dan's dice went my way, my dice went my way, everything that happened went my way. And it wasn't a very good... It wasn't a very good game because obviously you don't want a game that's that one-sided, and it doesn't show either list off to be as good.
It just goes to show Vect. You use it sometimes and
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Yeah, and
you get a 6 straight off the bat, and it's like no.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things.
And then the next 2 damage rolls after that 6 to blow up were 2 6s.
Yeah, yeah. So you know sometimes it falls for you, but. It just, everything went my way. All the luck was on my side.
So
all the luck was against
the
Dan.
Grotesque did alright. That was probably my one best dice roll. Was
against the Castle.
21 hits through.
Yeah. And then you got the 8 wounds. I didn't save that many. Oh yeah, it was 9 wounds through and I saved 1. So, you know, he done well there, but... And then on turn 3, again, you didn't... that's what you've done to the Castellan, isn't it? And you've taken the Errant down to 6 wounds.
Again, the
Armiger down to 5.
The Scourges whiffed on there.
Warblade down to 5, sorry.
Whiffed a bit on their Haywire.
Yeah.
They'd have been a bit better on their Haywire both turns. I think the Errant would have been out of the way, and it's a whole different.
And then my turn 3 was pretty much just clearing up. I just cleared up a lot of different units, and then Dan just knew he didn't have enough to even...
Once the troops are out of the... Well, especially the Cavalite troops are out of the vehicles, they are cannon fodder.
Yeah. It's just, you know, if you can hide them and hold an objective with them when they're hidden...
Which is what I did with that squad at the back, but a lot of these objectives are in the open.
If you're not playing someone like Astra Militarum, where don't need line of sight or, you know, any of that type of thing, you can just hide them behind some and hold an objective, then they're fine. But yeah, you need them in Raiders, Venoms, that sort of thing for them to be effective.
And a lot of the weaponry, I wanted to keep the list the same, not just tailor a list to playing Knights. Continue with the formula I'm using for playing tournaments.
Yeah.
But the splinter weaponry, which is quite often good against hordes and other stuff, is everything in the army is you hit on 6s, wounded on 6s. Sorry.
Yeah.
Which makes a lot of the firepower. I think I took 1, maybe 2 wounds off from lots of dice of splinter.
Yeah. I mean, because it's all vehicles. You're at 6s. I mean, I think you, 1 or 2, maybe 2 wounds you done, and you know, but. It could have been a very, very different game had the dice gone your way, had the Haywire been going well. I could have lost the Paladin first turn. I could have quite easily lost the Errant second turn.
Well, even
you know, and then my back would have been up against the wall because when you're Knights and you lose a unit, that's, you know, if I'd lost 2 units in the first 2 turns, then suddenly I've only got 4 units left. Like, that's not much to hold unit, to hold more and all that sort of thing.
Even if the Paladin hadn't blown up, I think that it would have been a different game.
Yeah.
That 22 mortal wounds was just absolutely devastating.
I mean, I think I was fairly ahead on points at that point, but don't get me wrong, you could have, it's not saying you couldn't have got it back, because you could have, because in terms of secondaries, because you had Titanic and Big Game Hunter, you could have been racking them up. You could have got full on both of those. And then you had Old School. I mean, you missed out on First Strike. You definitely could have got, you would have got Line Breaker. And you could have got Slay the Warlord if you killed the Castellan in the end. So, you know.
So I think it was doable if the Marvelous Coven hadn't taken them wounds. It was definitely doable.
Yeah.
With the volume
and
of...
it would have been a lot harder job for me. So, but, I mean, I think that's just sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles. And, you know, we've all had games where where things don't go our way. And it's just not a good show of either list, really, because...
That just goes to show one pivotal roll of a 6.
Oh, yeah. Can change the game, definitely. You know, an exploding knight or an exploding Titanic unit can...
And the thing is, you only rolled 3 on the distance as well.
Yeah, it was only 3 inches, because he had everything around me, like, attacking me. I only rolled a 3. I mean, I think if they'd been, you know, out of that range, I probably would have used a command point to re-roll, but, you know, I think it was good. It's one of those things. Hopefully our next game will be a little bit more even with the dice, and will be a lot better game. But yeah, that's how it goes.
Maybe I'll try the Death Guard against the Knight list.
Yeah. So that's the first time I've run a full Knights list. Obviously it went really well for me, but I don't think it was really a fair contest. So I think with something like Death Guard with Disgusting Resilience, it's going to be harder. But
maybe Mortarion.
Mortarion, yeah.
Maybe. Although he would be a serious bullet magnet to a Knight army.
Oh yeah, I mean, you've got two Helverins would be going straight into him, Castellan and everything. Do you know what I mean? It would just be shoot him until he's dead, and that's 400 points that you'd lose probably first turn, because I can't imagine that like 2 Helverins, a Castellan, an Errant, a Paladin, and an Armiger wouldn't take out Mortarion in one turn.
No, unless
you got him out of range or something like that.
Death Shroud around him, possibly.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Things like that. But yeah, because obviously he'd be
hoping,
priority target number 1. So.
Yeah, you'd be hoping for first turn, to be honest.
yeah, definitely, yeah. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and hope you enjoyed it, even though it was a little bit one-sided. But, you know, as we all know, it's the way sometimes it rolls. If you liked it and if you enjoying our content, then subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, bye.
Cheers, bye.